that.
All right, so as you said, we preluded to it earlier. We are going to then break down our reactions from the MLB cheating scandal, the Astros, Houston Astros in 2017. They were accused, and a lot of people thought it was fake.
This is historic,
bro. And as you said, you know what? Cheating scandals, right? You was thinking, what's the biggest cheating scandals I ever seen? One of the biggest ones I ever seen was obviously 2007's Spygate with the New England Patriots. You had the Black Sox back in the early 1920s, I believe. You have Bill Clinton in the White House. So like in terms of this though, in terms of like you got.
I wasn't expecting that. No, that was good. That's in play, man.
I'm not good. Like what else big?
Airball.
It's like I do not have such relationships with that woman.
Okay. And what's funny is I was watching this is off topic, but I was watching that Dave Chappelle special Killing Them Softly.
Yeah.
Last night, bro. I was rolling where he was like, I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
And Lily. Bro,
I asked him something else.
You wild, bro. But so we had the 2017 Houston Astros, actually World Series champion Houston Astros. So they admitted to having it was sign stealing.
Yep. That is
cheating.
That is terribly cheating.
That is cheating. But then they took it up. They took one of these. They took an Apple Watch. They took cameras. They took garbage cans. And basically, they knew what you were throwing.
They was like, if we cheating, we gonna cheat at 150%.
No. You wasn't cheating. They was, as you said, they was.
Cause sign stealing is cheating. Like that's real cheating. But putting a buzzer on you, bro? Cameras? Oh, you said we going the full 9 yards,
No. I'm trying to think. Man, I had the joke. Who was cheating? You know what? You want to tell you how bad they was cheating? They put Tiger Woods in shape.
Bruh.
Bro, I'm talking about
God, bro.
They had the garbage cans. I'm talking about this.
My God. Why are you lighting these people up? They're not even.
They the ghost though. Like, listen, I'm not a big fan.
That's not even the realm of cheating we talking about. But you getting.
I mean, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying to pair, right? Listen, so like honestly, I do not put that in any type of relationship advice whatsoever. This is literally just sports, obviously.
Bro, you really killing me right now.
No, I'm killing you softly, bro. Bro, I'm corny. Nah, but not for real.
Ball.
Bro,
just go, bro. Let's go. You kill it.
So then, as you said, like, so the Houston Astros, they were penalized, obviously. I don't, like, depends on how you want to do it. They announced that the discipline for the Astros was suspending the general manager, Jeff Woonhall, and the manager, AJ Hinch, for an entire 2020 season, which, I mean, they had a full suspension because they got fired 2 hours later. It seems like the organization was drafted 4 draft picks and a levy and fine of $5 million. So, none of the players would be suspended. One of the biggest reasons was discipline. Rob Manfred said the main reason why they didn't do such is because they felt like they would have had to go against MLB
with the players
union.
And we already know the toughest union in history
by Major League Baseball. Listen, they say, hey, listen, man, if you do PEDs, we're gonna take half your salary. Yeah. That's it. And you making $30 million, so you're gonna make at least 15.
You don't want to run up against
the MLB players.
But
so the question is,
but would the players union really go to bat for a bunch of cheaters? That's the question.
Yes, they would. Because guess what? If they wouldn't have, they would have been stripped that title away. They would have been stripped. But Rob Manfred said the idea was about players. You had players. You had Bellinger. You had, Aaron Judge. I'm surprised Aaron Judge hasn't said anything. He said the idea of, and this is Rob Manfred, commissioner. He said, the idea of an asterisk or putting a piece of metal behind back seems to be a futile act. People will always know that something was different about 2017. Yeah, cheaters won. Okay, so and it said decision of if it was right or wrong. That undertook the investigation had internal intestinal fortitude, and shared the results of the investigation, even though the results weren't pretty. So basically, we knew they cheated. Yes, they got away with it. Yeah, they won a championship.
But we gonna blame the bosses. Which, see, Here's the thing about that. Like, I get it. And I also get the fact that they would not have been able to get that investigation completed unless they offered immunity
for
to
everybody,
to them players. So that's the other thing. They would not have known a thing if they didn't get it from the players, or they wouldn't have been able. They wouldn't have been able to confirm a thing unless they spoke to the players. So they.
Oh no, they were snitching.
In that way, oh yeah. Immunity is a snitch's favorite word. Trust me. I know. Like, they cannot wait to hear that word. That means they only got to worry about the streets. They ain't got to worry about the judge and the law and that. Like, they just got to worry about. Right now, they got to worry about getting beamed. You know what I'm saying? They got to worry about.
Oh no, you already know that. They already saying
it's already
Dusty Baker. Bro, you know what's so crazy?
Yeah, Dusty Baker,
bro. Dusty Baker couldn't get a job in Major League Baseball, and he said, "Bro, you know what, Dusty? We're gonna give you a job. We're gonna let you sign a 1-year deal with the Houston.
The worst job right now, which is general manager of the Houston Astros.
And you know what they're gonna do? You gonna have to worry about at least 5 beanballs a game. Like Jose Altuve and Carlos Correa. Listen, just be like, hey, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just where you gonna hit me at? So that way I can flinch up for real. Because you had.
Now Altuve is little, man. That's the thing about that. And I get why I get why Dusty got to get out in front of it, because he is now the general manager.
Hey, listen, that's your job. You decided to take it. It's your job.
And
what's the and?
If you know what I'm saying, if these pitchers start to get out of hand throughout these 162 games, let's say a pitch upside the head. You know what I'm saying? Altuve a little dude. You can mistake that slider one more time and plunk him right in the jaw or whatever it might be, and he's probably done.
So I guess my question.
I don't really think did they cheat? Yes, but this is tough.
But you got to think.
What's your question?
But here's the thing. So you got players like Cody Bellinger saying that 2017 is not just the World Series. He robbed Jose Altuve robbed Aaron Judge of a MVP. He made the Dodgers. Look at the Dodgers. Look at the Red Sox.
Clayton Kershaw.
And granted, the Red Sox might have been cheating too. You never know. They're gonna see what happens with them. The Red Sox. All these teams that literally had to go up against the Houston Astros. He's cheating the Houston Astros. So the question is to you: do you think they should strip the title?
Yes. You have to. They were stealing signs, but they cheated the whole season, including the World Series. You have to strip the title.
So what do you think of Carlos Correa's comment saying that when they say that you should strip the title, or do you think that maligns their success for the last couple of years, the years after the 2017 championship season?
All I know is this.
What he said was, if you don't know the facts of it, then you can't speak upon it.
All I know is this. And it's different sports, different organizations, whatever it might be, different leagues, right? USC got their stuff stripped because Reggie Bush was his daddy was driving around in an Escalade. It had nothing to do with football. It had nothing to do with school. It had nothing to do with nothing. His daddy took money. The Heisman taken away. They didn't have the title taken. No,
they got the title taken away.
Thank you. They had that taken away. Like, bruh, all that because that pops want to roll around in the caddy until his son gets into the NFL.
They had to disassociate with
these. I wish we had I wish you could edit like a blur on my face, like beeps, blurts, whatever it might be, because I want to call these people so many different names. And the fact that they getting away with this, the fact that the team is not going to be stripped of nothing except for some money off the salary and some draft picks or some dudes who probably wasn't going to play baseball anyway. No.
So you think they got to wait practically
the way how you get the players without disciplining the players is stripping that title. You have to. Absolutely.
Because guess what?
Without question.
No, because here's the thing.
That should have been done. That should have been done when
that should have been the first thing. That should have been the first thing. Listen, the 2017 title winners for the World Series does not exist.
No.
Because guess what? You can do it in college football. You can do it in college basketball. They love doing it in college. All college sports.
This is baseball. This is baseball trying to retain its legacy, its prestige, whatever you want to call it, against the other big sports. And the problem is that I'm sorry, baseball. Your game is so long. You got so many cheaters throughout the history of it. Cheating is already part of baseball's legacy, okay? How you get in front of that, how you change that is strict discipline. And you gotta
Think about it. Like with the steroids era, like you had players literally getting like $100 million contracts, having the contracts get so. The reason
there's dudes that can't get into the Hall of Fame.
Pete Rose literally is banned from baseball because they say he bet on games.
He copped to it.
He copped to it, but they never. But here's the thing, though. You know how they said the Houston Astros, they were caught red-handed. Obviously players were snitching. There was a paper trail, and they caught them red-handed. They know for a fact you were cheating between X, Y, and Z. The fact is that Pete Rose was never confirmed of betting on while he was playing baseball. So that means that his nickname, Charlie Hustle, that means he actually tried to win every single game he had a part of. And not only that, as a manager, he was betting on games when he said, "Oh, we were going to win." So basically, he was like, he made sure that obviously didn't want to lose no money.
Yeah,
he always
but that messes with the integrity of the game.
And this doesn't.
No, it does. It definitely does. Pete Rose gambling on games as the whatever. No, you can't do that.
I know you can't.
Because that affects even the team itself. Like that poisons the team itself. Because you can play a hand and your team losing and you can still get paid big bucks. You can play a hand and your team winning and you still getting paid big bucks. It don't really matter to you, and that's what messes up the integrity of the game. This messes up the integrity of the game in a different way, in the sense of they're making sure that they win the whole shebang, right? And they don't care who it goes up against, and apparently they don't really care who finds out until now. And like that's the Astros. Like now they're talking about oh boy, yeah, said
but you got so here's the thing.
It didn't affect the game. He believes it didn't affect the game. And then when they ask about him, or pretty much ask the question, he's like, "Well, I didn't say it didn't affect the game." Okay, well, you know it affects the game in your favor.
Astros owner, he said basically they asked him a question. It was literally in like almost a 50-second increment. They said, "Do you believe that cheating affected the game?"
Yep.
Did you believe that it would affect the game? And he said, "Yes." No, he said, "Yes, it does affect the game." But then when they asked him, "So do you think it hadn't handed you winning?" Well, I didn't say it did affect the game. So which one was it? So when
the Astros cheated, they cheated as a team. So there's that.
So shouldn't their team punishment be stripping the title?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
So my whole thing is that, as you said though, as you say, MLB tries to preserve that. Yes, we're the distinguished league. You know, the other leagues have other dramas that we don't deal with. But the thing with Major League Baseball is because it's so long and because the league season is so drawn out, so much stuff gets forgotten. If a football player gets a DUI in August, we gonna hear about it all the way up until December because literally it gets drawn out. The suspension or the fallout, and everybody's gonna keep asking at him. Think about Myles Garrett. He literally got reinstated.
I didn't think he was gonna get reinstated until
I thought he was gonna get reinstated, but think about it. They gonna talk about the whole helmet and the racial slur thing all throughout the offseason. You got Mike right. So as you said, we're going back to the Houston Astros, but you gotta think about how much stuff did they affect. You actually have a former player, Mike Bolsinger. His final major leaguer season, he got blasted. Like the Houston Astros lit him up, and he said he lost almost $30 million. He had a $30 million contract to what he said.
Yep.
So the question is, do the Houston Astros got to pay up on that? Because technically, if you might, bro, we probably would have won. I get $30 million. Like basically,
depends on the law.
You affected how I earn my money.
That part is true, but But have we ever seen anything like that happen before?
I don't think we've ever.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody sue somebody for cheating and then winning. Like I think he has a case, but I don't think he'll win.
But I'm gonna tell you what it is. I don't think we've ever caught.
Because the problem is it wasn't just the Astros. You know what I'm saying? That probably beat you up to the point where, because here's the thing, if it was just the Astros doing that to you, like just the Astros, you would still end up getting that money from somebody at some point somewhere. You know what I mean? Like there's 30 teams in the major leagues. One team lit you up, and you blaming that team for the trajectory of your career. That I get it.
Yeah,
I get at some point, but they weren't the only ones in my mind that were probably like. I have to go back and look at his stats from that year to actually make a good like
But think about but like you got
judgment on that.
and only that you were saying just the players, right? But you got to think. You said players got immunity, right? Carlos Beltran, who I got introduced as the Mets general manager, right? He had the job for what, a week?
Yeah.
And he got fired. Boston's manager, he got fired as well. So the question is it really that the players got immunity? Are they saying that if you're still a player, you're okay? Versus the
from
guy,
the league, but teams can still take out their own. I mean, the dude can fire you all he wants. That's fine. That's not really the punishment. The punishment would be an indefinite suspension. The punishment is you getting a fine. The punishment is, that. What they're essentially doing is blackballing them from the league at that point.
What do you think? But it's the same. So basically, because you can still make money, and obviously other teams don't care that you work cheating, they're gonna probably make sure you don't cheat when you come to their team. Because Jose Altuve, granted, it's fine.
Well, how many players are gonna play for them, knowing that they cheat? That's the thing. Like teams, like the owners are still hiring them, but I mean they won't. What players are going to be like? Yeah, my money's already guaranteed. Whether or not I play well or not is not up to if I've been playing well, then you get hired. All of a sudden I suck. They're gonna fire you before they get rid of me.
That's very true. And not only that, because you get released, so say if Jose Altuve,
and if you get released, you still get paid.
Exactly. And then
there's no lose there for the player to take out their own discipline against the.
So I got a question.
Managers.
Right? This leads up to my theory. Do you think if the players' union and them contracts wasn't so ironclad, do you think that this would have happened more often in the NFL or in basketball? Or do you? Because granted, basketball is
cheating.
But they can void your contract for they can fine you, basically fine you for the whole thing. But do you think that do you think because of MLB's players,
it's tough to cheat in basketball? You can't really cheat basketball. That's the purity about basketball. You can't cheat basketball.
You can blame refs for anything, but
right? You can blame the refs for making or missing the call, but you can't really unless you are doing PEDs, and even then, you're not.
It's skill in basketball.
That's what I'm saying. It's up to your skill and it's up to you and gravity. Okay, it's you and the laws of physics at that point. That's the thing about basketball is so pure in that respect. Football, we've seen you can cheat. You can record practices. You can record substitutions. You can deflate balls. You can do like whatever you want to do in terms of cheating like that.
Take out communication.
You can do steroids. You know what I mean? Right.
Sound like crowd noises.
But you can't do that in basketball. So I mean, I feel like that's a huge reason. The only thing what you could really do in basketball in terms of cheating is gambling. Is betting on the game, and we already know
that happened, and they was able to survive that, and I feel like that was literally like one of the biggest, like for real, like that's what y'all was doing,
right?
But so like to me, I just think as you said, because as you said, it was more of a good old boys league, and that's how Major League Baseball is seen nowadays, especially with NBA basketball and even football, and even in, like you said, the individual sports like tennis and golf. It just feels like with baseball, they will give you. If they, and excuse the expression, they would be the person to piss in your face and tell you that it was raining. They literally just say this is how it's going to be, and this is like Rob Manfred even said it, like we're not going to strip their title away, and the players have immunity, and basically, hey, if you're gonna still watch baseball, you're gonna watch baseball, and that's why I think a lot of the demographic, it wasn't very transparent, even in their way of saying it's transparent. Y'all literally had to have players rat on each other in order for it to go through. The question is, if the player said, you know what, we're going to stay together, what you going to do? And they, with Major League Baseball... The problem is, that's what was going on. That's literally the problem. The story is, I mean, the league had already known about this. But they couldn't all teams, exactly, they could not prove it because the team itself would not speak. They couldn't investigate it any further, and they had it so set up, like... If the players don't snitch, Lord knows the Astros probably go ahead and throughout history they don't even get touched. Nothing happens whatsoever to anybody, right? And then it becomes a rumor, and then they have to try to go back and investigate it. And then 20 years from now, after Altuve is sitting on $340 million,
gray in the head, got 4 grandkids, and he don't really care what happens to him.
Oh yeah, I cheated.
He's like, oh yeah, we cheated. I have buzzers on my chest. I'll show you pictures.
So,
This, that, and the third.
I got a question, right? And
There's nothing you can do to me now, and that's the problem. Like there is something they can
he's
do
in
to
the Hall
them
of Fame. Now, question: do you think any of those players associated with that team will get into the Hall of Fame?
No. I don't think so. If Pete Rose is being kept out,
But
what he
they
did,
put the spitballs, pork bats. You know what I'm saying? Like they put out the stick 'em, like all that good stuff. Like they had all that. And they said, "Oh yeah, you're going to Hall of Fame."
sign stealing. You know what pitch is coming. How the ball is thrown and whether or not it goes out somewhere, that's totally dependent upon the pitcher strength and the batter strength. Pine tar or whatever it might be, is that cheating? Yes, that's technically in or outside the rules, yes, but you still don't know what's coming.
True.
That is supposed to be the purest part about baseball, is that you don't know the pitch that's coming.
I did think the hardest thing to do and
is to hit a fastball.
Interested in bringing you more reactions, more content for that. And as I said, we appreciate you guys' support. Hit like, subscribe. Peace.